Hey guys, welcome to my May wrap-up. I'm finally getting caught up on these things. I read quite a bit of books, wow, in May, so let's just get into it. The first book I read was The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. I give this 3 stars. I've wanted to read this for a while, but every time I went to the library to try and get it, it was like gone. It's a fun story, right? I thought the writing style was very nice, it flowed nicely. It was sort of confusing, kind of at the end was confusing too. It's about a murdered girl who is watching her friends and family from heaven, and she's like willing them to try and like find her murderer, and just like continuing, the family and friends continuing their life after the girl's death. I thought the ending was kind of abrupt and like confusing, like I said. I wanted more like explanation, I guess. The movie of this too that I might want to see. I don't know. The next book I read was The Making of the African Queen by Katharine Hepburn. I gave this 3 stars. This is an autobiography of Catharine's time in Africa, making the movie The African Queen. I thought it was quite interesting. There were like pictures included. Maybe I'd like to read her actual autobiography because I know she has one. She seems like a really cool person. She seems really like laid back and stuff. And this movie is, The African Queen is a really good movie, so if you haven't seen it, you should go and watch it. The book I read was All These Things I've Done by Gabrielle Zevin. I gave this 3 stars. It's about a girl whose dad is a mafia type leader who deals in chocolate. Since this is a future set world where chocolate is illegal, and it's about her life trying to figure out if she wants to step into her dad's shoes, basically. This is a series, but I won't be continuing it. It had like funny moments, and it was quick-paced, so I like that. The next book I read was Ladies of Grace Adieu, and Other Stories. This was a short story collection by Susanna Clark. I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was pretty good. It involved like fairies, fairy tales, that kind of thing. And I like that subject. I'm like spinning around because I'm on like a wheelie chair. I just thought that. It was a quick read, it was humorous, it was mysterious, it was very atmospheric, very woo. The next book I read was Like Water for Chocolate by Laura Escobar. I gave it 3 stars. It's about a girl who enjoys cooking, but she cooks emotions basically into the food. So there are interesting occurrences when the food is eaten by the people who eat it. And this is also a movie that maybe I'd like to see. It was told in a very different way, involving like recipes. Like every chapter had a different recipe. And the ending was like a trip. Like I did not see that coming. I would have liked more explanation about the ending. And this is also a series, but I won't be continuing it. The next book I read was Jekyll Loves Hyde by Beth Fantasky. I gave this 5 stars. It's a modern retelling of the strange case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's about a girl and a boy who do a science experiment using the original formula that turns Jekyll into Hyde. But they can't resist drinking it themselves. Oh no, what's gonna happen? And I thought it was humorous and quick-paced. The next book I read was The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. I gave it 3 stars. It's a fantasy about a girl with powers who gets kidnapped so her powers can be used for bad, basically. Will she escape? Dun dun dun. But I thought it was confusing, like there's so many characters and they all have different powers, and all that was very confusing to read about. This is also a series, but I won't be continuing it. The next book I read was Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank. I gave this 5 stars. I wanted to read this because I read the graphic novel a couple months ago and I really liked it. Also very good. I like to see a movie of this too. I'm sure there's tons of movies of this. It was quick-paced, humorous. She's a very funny writer, I have to say. And this is about Anne's life in hiding during the Holocaust. The next book I read was What I Saw and How I Lied by Judy Blundell. I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was quite good. It was mysterious. It's about a girl who sees something and lies about it. Just kidding. Because of the title. It follows a girl whose parents are in trouble and she has the key to save them. Will she? Dun dun dun. It was historical, which I love. It's set after World War II. It's humorous and quick-paced. The next book I read was Just a Summer Romance by Anne M. Martin. gave it 3 stars. This is about a girl meets boy during summer but are separated after that. Will their relationship survive? I read this because I was looking for cheesy romances. I got into that type of mood for a while. So there should be more coming up on this list. The next book I read was Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. I gave this 3 stars. This is the classic about a boy who never grows up, and Wendy and Tinkerbell, and I'm sure you know what it is. And I'd like to see the movie for this too, because I don't remember seeing the movie. I know there's an animated one, right? But I don't remember seeing it. The book was very adventurous. The writing style is very odd and humorous. Like, he is a wacky guy, that J.M. Barrie. Wacky guy. The next book I read was Crazy in Love by Cynthia Blair. I gave this 3 stars. This is my second cheesy romance I read this month. Look out for a third. This is about a girl and boy who struggle to be together because of religious differences. It's told through the perspective of the girl's friend, which is an odd choice, I find. The next book I read was Julie and Julia by Julie Powell. I gave it 3 stars. I wanted to read this because of the movie Julie and Julia. And actually I read Julia Child's autobiography last month. That was good too. This is about Julie Powell's journey cooking her way through Julia Child's cookbook in 1 year. It was alright, it kind of dragged, but it was alright. The last book I read was Whatever Words You Want to Hear by Susan Beth Pfeiffer. I gave this 3 stars. My third cheesy romance on this list. Although this one was less cheesy because it was kind of sad. It's a girl torn between 2 brothers, the good one, the bad one. Which one will she choose? Oh, Mom! So those were the books I read in May. I finally caught up with my wrap-ups. Yay! See you next time.